Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Regina Go and thank you for tuning in. And today I'm going to be talking about is Gemini moon signs. And moon sign is basically the ruler is the moon and it rules Cancer. Cancer are also known for being very nurturing. So because we have our emotions, we express them differently. And because this is the Gemini moon video, this is how you guys feel in your emotional state. So in your emotional state, anybody that have Gemini moons, you automatically have to talk to someone. You guys have to find out things. You guys have to communicate things. You guys have to kind of, your emotional sense is to think of different perspectives. You guys are often talkers. I have a sister that's a Gemini moon and she kind of matched my Gemini sun, but if I don't really want to talk, then it's like, oh, you talking too much. But you guys can talk for hours. For hours. And having your moon sign is basically how you guys was raised by your mother and what you thought of your mother. And having that from nature, you thought your mother was probably very sociable. As a Gemini, you probably thought she either had a lot of friends or very communicative, or you guys think that your mother was very either. It also bring out the mental realm, so you guys probably think that your mothers had like mental problems or had like low communication skills or a low way of thinking and researching. So it depends on how you guys aspect with your mother and vibe with your mother. So what's I say? Cancer, Gemini moons are, you guys are very witty. You guys like to banter. You guys in your emotional states like to communicate things and think things out. You guys could take the emotion out of things and just put it out the way. When it's in your emotional state, you guys have to talk, and it depends on what your sun sign. So if you're a Leo sun, you guys need to talk with, have attention when you talk. If you guys are like say Pisces, you guys can feel with emotion, or you don't really talk. You talk about what's like necessary to what you get in, or the little not very deep surfaces spaces. And Gemini, what I noticed about Gemini moon, you guys can talk for hours. I remember when me and my siblings, we was hot boxing in the car, and Narcissa came in there, and then she just like took the whole conversation out the window. She just took the whole conversation and made it her own, because that was her emotional sense. And then she literally talked for like 2 hours or 3, and then she was like, finally got done talking. It was like, you guys are quiet. I was like, oh, you're just not funny now, okay. But that's what you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to talk it out. You're supposed to communicate with others. And I understand that as me being a Gemini sun, and I always want to talk sometimes, and I always want to communicate sometimes. If I'm not in my feelings, I just have to be in a Gemini way. And you guys are like that in your emotional sense. So it doesn't really matter what your sun sign is. When you're in an emotional state, that's how you want to. You have to express how you feel. You want people to see your point of view, and when people don't allow you to see it, then you feel a little like you guys can be very talkative when it's in your emotional states. It's because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to communicate with others and let people know how you feel, and it's okay because that's your emotional sense. Everybody has an emotional sense and they act very different with them, and you have to understand what Geminis, you guys are more like a logical thinking when you're emotional sense, so you probably do things to like see if you can get away with it, or like be very critical. You guys might just be okay with having like bisexual relationship or like threesomes, like something like that in your feelings, or you might just want more than one thing. You just might think of that and just like, okay. And as a Gemini sun, I'm not judging y'all. I'm not judging y'all. I'm like very like, okay, y'all like me in your emotional state. Oh, I get it. I think of that way, but my emotional passion is an Aries, so it's more of just action based versus just more of just let me see if I can get away with things and calculate. You guys are very calculative, if that's a word. You guys might be you guys feel like because you guys open up to people that people necessarily will care or you guys open up too much, and you guys have to understand that you have to have a little like secret to you, because everybody shouldn't know your like deep personal issues, like unless they earn it, or well, that's personally for me, if you unless you want to be letting people know, and that's how you vibe with. And you guys are very like, you guys, if I like, for me and my sister, we literally just got off of like a 9-hour phone call. And we never really did it, but once we finally cleared the air and finally like told each other how we really felt, and me being a Gemini Sun, I wasn't emotional, and then she was actually in an emotional sense, then we actually had to talk about it. And I expressed, and I understand that, because some people need like expression just to say what they want to say. People want to say their piece, and you guys are the one that's going to want to say your piece. And then the negative side about it, you guys could talk down about people. You can be very like, if like the opposite of witty, you can be very snarky and very bitchy. Like, you gonna say shit that try to make things to hurt somebody, because you are in your emotional state and emotional self right now. You guys are the talkative one. You guys just say it because somebody hurt you, or you in your feelings and you want to go hurt somebody. And you have to understand that that do hurt, because you wouldn't want somebody else to talk to you crazily. But you should be able to talk, but not to the one that's gonna have to talk about somebody so hard, or go in on somebody so hard. And that's what you guys need to learn. That's your downfall, because I'm a Gemini Sun. I don't go around try to talk meanly about somebody, but you guys are in your emotional state, so that's what you guys do in your emotional self. And as you can see, I'm drinking like, this is like my 4th or 5th cup, and this is like a whole different type of wine. This is like a blueberry one, and mixed with lime margarita. So it'll taste, this flavor tastes very good. I had to tell you that because my Gemini Sun, you know, or you don't know. So you have to understand. And then you guys are very well with somebody. You work real well with somebody that can communicate with you, and you guys also can fill in the air for people that don't know how to communicate, or don't know how to really talk. But you have to understand, it's a time and place for everything. It's a time and place for everything. Everybody kind of want to hear you talk, but everybody kind of really don't. It depends. Like my sister, when she came and crashed our hot box, talked about what she really felt, it kind of put the mood in, dampen the mood. It's like, yeah, but it was more because she's a Leo, so of course the attention was going to be about her. But anybody that's like a Scorpio or Pisces, or anything that's like Cancer, like when you're in your emotional state, it can alter in a way that is. So if you're like I brought up Pisces, if you're like a Cancer, you might be more nurturing, you might want to talk about your feeling and be my mom, and then this is hard, and if people don't some, or they don't know how I feel, and why don't you love me, and that type of feel. Or it can be very like a Scorpio feel, where very snarky and very suspicious, or very grudgmental, or very like, or very spiritual and very woke, if you guys are vibrating high. And everybody have a low and high and low stand field, and you guys do have that. And Gemini also, it just means that how you build your mother. You might have felt like she had a mental illness, or you probably felt like she was didn't know how to communicate well, or very, was like slow based, like, okay, to you, because you're a fast moving sign. You could be very critical and very witty, and sometimes you guys do it because y'all do it to hurt somebody. You don't put the emotion in there. It's an air sign, versus a Virgo, that's also ruled by Mercury, that's also co-ruled Gemini too. Virgos, when they tell you something not emotional, it's actually kind of true. It depends on, it's true on who it's based upon. You guys are more just like, oh, I'm gonna fry you, I'm gonna hold you real quick, and when you're emotional sense. And well, with me, me being a Gemini, you can't really hold me, but for everybody else, it might kind of hurt. It might just like, damn. And because you guys are air-based, so it's not really at home being emotional self, especially dealing with air and the watery signs. So it depends on how well your natal chart is aspected, and how you guys do overcome certain things that's within you. So if you're being a Gemini Moon, you guys are often the talker, the kind of the life of the party. You guys can kind of be like a Cancer Moon and talk to people and express how you feel, but you guys could talk to anybody and just be able to understand a lot of things. You guys are the quick-witted ones. You guys are the ones that analyze things very quickly in your emotion, and you guys will post a little subliminals thinking somebody won't catch it unless that person that know about that situation can catch it, or unless you have like a Gemini Sun like me, I'll catch that shit too. And my sister confirmed this. She's like, that was something I would do. I'm like, yeah, of course. And your emotion to say you do that, and my son say I might do that. You know, it's just a very mind game with you guys, and you guys are very mind game with your emotions. You guys, like, I mean, like, infidelity wise, you might actually might want more than one people. It depends on who the person you're with. And I will, of course, say more things about the Gemini Moon as I go down further in this channel and this series. So I hope you guys liked it, and this is just a quick one for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys resonate with it and if you guys feel it. And bye my Cancer, I mean not my Cancers, my Gemini Moon sign babies. Bye.